Right. I think we should start now. We were starting differently. I'm not going to be doing Gamba Uyo. And this is because I want to try something different this coming year. I know that Gamba Uyo has been overdone over the past few years. We've been running that music for a long time. And I think we have a competition to create a new song that was done to replace the song that was done by Zim Ion and Nicky Wash. These guys did a good job on Gamba Uyo, but we need to move on to a new song. So today we've got a very, very interesting topic, and this is to do with the MDC Alliance, or the new CCC. In fact, that is the Citizens Coalition for Change of Nelson Chamisa. And I want to look at the problems that have been happening in this new party, the new political party. And we are in for a very, very interesting set of events which are going to take place. As you know, the party was announced about a week ago on the 26th. In fact, it was announced just before the nomination court. And what has happened is that during the nomination, the MDC Alliance, or the CCC of Nelson Chamisa, went on to field double candidates in a number of wards. And if you look at what has been happening, there's a lot of discontent among the people within the CCC, because they feel that the vice president of the MDC of the CCC in Bulawayo, in fact, he's not been appointed, but Welshman Ncube, he's been working against Nelson Chamisa. So what happened is that the two candidates who were, if you look on my screen here, there are two candidates. That is Norman Ncube, and then there's another candidate here who is called Mpumelelo Moyo. And what happened is these two candidates were accepted, and they are going to be contesting under CCC in the same ward. I think it's Ward 26. If you look here, it says 26 Nketa constituency. That is for councillor. And here you look again, it says Ward 26, councillor Mganuni. I don't know if Mganuni and Nketa are the same ward, but there has been this confusion, and Welshman Ncube is being pointed to as the person who caused this confusion, because he signed papers or nomination papers for one of the candidates, and I think he signed before Shabano. And then the guys in Harare, who is Job Scala, signed also for a different candidate. And then if you look at what Welshman went on to say, so you can see that Welshman Ncube here, he was seen on Twitter, and he said, Saze sawahlaliswa amalahle emzini wabokhokho. So what he means here is basically we're being made to sit on hot ashes or hot coals. And then this tweet was responded to by my brother Zenzele Ndebe, who said, why do political parties initiate processes they can't respect? CCC introduced a system where stakeholders endorse or reject a candidate. Councillor Shawan in Ward 26 was rejected by stakeholders, but his nomination form was signed in Harare. So Councillor Shawan, this one here that you are looking at, he is the one that is not wanted by the community. And the person that is wanted here is Mpumelelo Moyo. And Mpumelelo Moyo, very, very vocal. And I'm sure he said quite a number of things. If you go on the Chronicle, you will see what he said about this whole situation. So the problem that is happening, and I want to keep this very, very short. The problem that is happening in the CCC is that instead of being the new, like what Nelson Chamisa said, the new political party is the same as the old political party. Chamisa has carried over the problems that were there in the MDC alliance. He's carried them over into the CCC. And the reason is simple. Chamisa finds it very difficult to directly confront people. So I want to give you the example of what happened with Denford Ngadziware. That man does not deserve to be a councillor, but he is contesting. He's a candidate. If you look at the list of candidates that is being put out there by Chamisa, very, very weak candidates, people that cannot bring change to the country. So he is failing to identify new people that can go in, that can improve the profile of the new political party. The political party that has been formed, CCC, is basically a replica of the old MDC alliance. Very weak candidates, people who are not in touch with the communities. If you look at most of the councillors in Bulawayo and in Harare, they failed to do much. Similarly, the councillors from PDP, they failed to do much. They've not had an impact. They are just being voted to in the cities because people want change. So people can basically vote anybody as long as that person is from the opposition, and particularly if that person was from the MDC alliance, they were getting the votes from people because people just wanted a person from the MDC alliance. They were not even looking at who is that person that we're voting for. And most of the people have failed to make changes in their communities. Now, if I go back and let me conclude with the issue of Welshman Ncube, and this is going to be a very difficult one for Nelson Chamisa, because Ncube obviously feels that he's doing the right thing, but people who surround Chamisa, they feel that Welshman Ncube is totally doing the wrong thing. Welshman Ncube is running the Bulawayo province of the CCC like his own personal kingdom, and a clash is going to follow because Welshman Ncube is also quite a very strong person. He's not weak, and Chamisa cannot push him around. So when a situation like this arises, it means there are two powerful bulls in the same crow, and one of them has to go. And I think Chamisa, when he does make his appointments of the new team that is going to be in the CCC, he's got a very difficult decision to make. If I was Chamisa, what I would do, I would get rid of Welshman Ncube, I'll get rid of Karenyi Kore, I'll get rid of Tendai Biti, find a new vice president, one vice president. I don't know what the new constitution of the CCC says, but once I get hold of that constitution, we'll have a look. This business of having 3 vice presidents is not working. Also, the way they manage elections in the MDC alliance or in the CCC, not working at all, because they are supposed to allow people in the local communities to vote in the primary elections, and they're not doing that. People in Harare obviously don't know what is best for people in Bulawayo. And similarly, they've got a problem in Masvingo, where 2 candidates have also filed their nomination papers. So these are serious problems. The new party of Nelson Chamisa has plunged straight into chaos in the first week before they even had time to settle down. They are already in controversies within their leadership. And we always said that the 3 vice presidents are going to cause problems. And then the carrying of these big wells, like the people who come from the past, people like BT, people like Welshman Ncube, Karenyi Kore, Charlton Wende, Job Scala. The party will never go anywhere as long as it's got all these people are surrounding Nelson Chamisa. Chamisa has to make a strong decision to get rid of all these people that are around him who came from the Tlangrai days and start with a fresh team. And we'll see when he makes the announcement of who is in his team, whether he's going to be successful in doing that or not. Because that is where the problem in the new party is. Chamisa is not able to function efficiently with the people that are currently surrounding him, who are almost working against him. If you look at what Welshman said, he mentioned that the problems that were in the old MDC alliance, they followed Chamisa into the CCC, and he needs to do something about it. And that something is getting rid of all these people who've got the old way of thinking. And this is where we want to see how strong Nelson Chamisa's leadership skills are. Because if you was to appoint a new team that is fresh, that does not have all these problems, that does not have all these other allegiances, then we'll be talking something different very, very soon. In fact, going into 2023, this is a non-negotiable. He has to create a new team, a new vibrant team with young guys. And I always say, if you look at a young guy like Ostalos, he's well placed to replace someone like Fadzai Mahere. Fadzai Mahere is not doing well in that position. She's got an aggressive approach. She's annoying to people. When you're listening to her, she tends to talk down to people. And you need a young guy who is in touch with the grassroots, who goes on the ground, and who does not annoy people. Because to win this election, the upcoming election, Chamisa has to convince ZANU-PF supporters. So you have to convince the existing MDC supporters, then you have to convince the ZANU-PF supporters to come and vote for you. And with the current team that they have, especially in the spokesperson department there, they will not do it because they tend to talk down to people, they tend to be quite insulting, and they need to change that approach. And going back to Welshman Ncube, I think he has outlived his usefulness. BT has outlived his usefulness. Kareni Kore, she's outlived her usefulness. There is need for a new CCC, and the new CCC is not a replica of what was there in the MDC alliance. That party was not working. That's why they changed it. And they need to move fast. Put out the constitution, the people, put out the new website. There are so many things to be done, and show people that this is a new political party that is able to take the 2023 elections and create a government. Because look at what is happening in Zambia. Hakainde Hichilema totally failing to take advantage of the goodwill that he got when he was elected, because he's failing to create a team. This is the same thing that is happening to Nelson Chamisa. Chamisa, his team is very, very weak. It's not a cohesive unit. And with people like Welshman Ncube, who are openly defying his decisions on the first week of the party, then things won't work at all. I want to quickly look at the comments. There are so many comments here. So what I'll do is I'll quickly scan through, and then you guys can read through the other comments that are there. So let's look at the comments that are there and see what is there. Right, let's start with Cruzy. Gambako, where is Matapo? Right, I haven't talked to Matapo for a very, very long time. So I hope I'll be able to talk to you soon. All right, let's look for another comment. Right, CCC is now in the hearts and minds of Zimbabweans. I don't think so. So the way I see it, Chamisa has created a brand, CCC, but it needs marketing. At the moment, there's not been a lot of marketing. There's been a lot of tweeting and a lot of sending around of the logo. This is not enough. We are going to see very soon in this by-election which is coming up, Chamisa is not going to do as well as he did in the past. And as I said, if ZANU-PF was to get the people out, Chamisa is not going to do well in this election. Let's go to Albert Rusere. Albert Rusere says, ZANU-PF mantra, I hope you're not telling Rusere's brother. Let's go to Albert again. The record candidates are the ones to stand. Those are ZANU-PF and ZEC plan. Okay, I don't think that's the ZANU-PF has got anything to do with it. Then Eddie saying, I listened to Chamisa when he announced his new party. He's more wanting the presidential and seems not worried about anything else. big era is making. That's true. Chamisa's party is about Chamisa. It's got his logo right on his logo. His picture is right at the center of the logo. That's a disaster. You can't have a political party that has got the face of somebody as a logo. What if that person gets hit by a bus? What are you going to do? I've never seen a party, a serious party in Africa that has got a face of a person in its logo. That is something that everyone knows. Those are the kind of mistakes that are being made because people think that Chamisa is popular. Let's put him on the logo, but that's not it. Even in Zimbabwe, you have never seen a banknote that has got the face of a person. The only country where they've got a banknote with the face of a person is that of Mandela. I think here around Africa. Nelson Mandela was put there because he's a very special person. So you are already seeing that the party is not based on an ideology. It's based more on an individual. The same thing that was happening in MDC Alliance. Then Leroy is saying, Comrade Chamisa Mahere, Comrade Fadzai Mahere is doing a great job. I don't think so. I think Fadzai, she needs to be put in another portfolio, but not as a spokesperson. She's not doing very well there. She's not communicating properly with the media houses. She's got what I can call a condensating attitude. She tends to speak above people. She's more of a superior being than most people. You should see her when she's addressing a press conference. It always makes me laugh to watch Fadzai Mahere. And she's not doing well in terms of, imagine if you were to take her to a raw setting to make an announcement, it would be chaos because I don't think she even speaks proper Shona, which people can understand. And she does not get this idea of winning over people because where we're going now, the part of Chamisa CCC, it does not have the capacity to win nationally. It's a very small party, which is based on cities. And they only win in cities because ZANU-PF does not do well in getting their people out. If ZANU-PF was to do well in getting their people out, they will start losing in the cities. So what CCC will need to do to win is to get ZANU-PF people to vote for them. And with their current approach, that is not possible. Then Josiah Man says, why are you so negative about everything Chamisa does? This is not Chamisa. This is Welshman Ncube. You can see him here. He's speaking here. Says the Sawahlaliswa. Amalai. You hear that? It's not me. It's not Chamisa. It's Welshman Ncube himself saying that the guys in Matabele, they're being given a raw deal by the people in Harare. So don't ignore such things. They exist, and they come from the MDC, from the CCC. There's no way you can hide away from this. This statement here that you're seeing, it's a protest, a direct protest in public by Welshman Ncube. You know what has been happening in the past. We talked about this, and there is problem in the leadership team of the CCC, and I do not think people like Welshman Ncube, they deserve to be in there. The old guard, the people who were there in the past. If you really need to make a new party, that you say is the new, you need to get rid of those people and create a new team that is going to do things differently. And these guys are not the ones that are going to do things differently. They're going to do things the same. They're going to continue the old fights. They're going to continue being a problem. So if you see the situation with the Welshman Ncube, if you take her into any party, she's going to cause a fight, no matter which party it is. Similarly, Welshman Ncube is going to cause you fight. Tendai Biti is going to drag you back. Job Scala is going to use the same tactics from the past. Kareni Koresh is going to continue doing nothing. So the team of CCC, even if it was to take over in Zimbabwe, they will not be able to make change to the country. The party as it was in MDC Alliance, dysfunctional. And if you carry over the same structure to the new party, CCC, you're going to have the same old problems that you had in the past. Like double candidates. How do you have double candidates in this day of WhatsApp, where you can easily talk to people? And then you fail to convince those people who came in as double candidates to withdraw. Only one guy has withdrawn. But already that shows that there are problems in this new political party. Now let's go to the last comment that I'm going to I don't want to talk a lot about whether I'm a journalist or not. I think I've said this a lot. Let me go back to this comment. Trust me, are you a political analyst or just a journalist? You lack convincing face of the subject matter, etc., etc. I'm a media company owner. So I told you this, trust me, Tero. I'm not a journalist. I'm a media company owner. So I do editorials, which very few people do in Zimbabwe. And I give you information that behind the news. So we go deeper than just the news. We find you stories and then go behind the reasons why we have the story. Like now, you now know about Welshman Ncube. You now know about what he tweeted. You now know about Bulawayo and the problem they had there with double candidates. You now know that CCC filled the candidate in one of the constituencies there in Bulawayo, in Matabeleland. You now know about the Mashingo issue, that they filled the double candidates. And the party is already starting to fight before they even have their first election. So that is the information that I wanted to give you today. And we want to continue to look at the developing political party. It's going to be a very, very interesting story. Nelson Chamisa currently in Tanzania, and he is not looking presidential. And this is what I always say. Before a person becomes a president, you can feel it. You can see it. Chamisa is not looking presidential. His team is not looking strong enough. And he's starting to look like, if he was to become a president in Zimbabwe, he would become like Hakainde Hichilema, who came in very, very strongly. But immediately you could see he believes that the problem is the people and not the system. And this is the problem that Chamisa has got. He cannot create a system. And I've been saying this for a very, very long time. If you want to see that Chamisa cannot create a system, he believes in people. So he's going to keep Welshman Ncube. He's going to keep Tendai Biti. He's going to keep Job Scala. He's going to keep Karegi Nkore. The people that are totally inefficient, totally unable to operate in their position. He's going to keep in Fazai Mahere, someone who has not been able to bring the party a positive image. So that is beliefs in people. Whereas what he needs to do is to create a system, and the system works. That is why we say, if you look at Hakainde Hichilema, he failed in creating a system. He started firing people left, right, and center. But the system remained intact. The rotten system that was there before he came in, it stayed in place. And slowly it's going to be changed. And he will become part of the system. He will become the problem. You will see it very soon that Hakainde Hichilema will become a problem over there in Zambia. Because if you don't change the system is going to swallow you. And that is how it works. So I think we have had enough of a discussion on this issue. And let me go in depth into the by-elections, the candidates that Nelson Chamisa has put in place in the CCC. But the interesting ones are these Bulawayo Ward 26 councillors. That is Norman Tlhabano and Mpumelelo Moyo. These are interesting candidates. There's also another candidate who was in Mamjuru's party who was withdrawn. So there were two constituencies in which they filled the two candidates in Bulawayo. And obviously there's that one constituency where they did not fill the candidate. Very, very sad to see a new party behaving in this way. So it's been a total disastrous week for Nelson Chamisa and his CCC. And I hope that next week we have something better to talk, especially when he makes the appointments. I'm looking forward to him announcing the appointments in his party, putting out his constitution. Then we can get to look at what kind of political party are we going to be looking at going forward. Right, I'm done here, and I hope that you enjoy yourself. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to get hold of my brother, Lieutenant Benson Matinyarare. He was in Zimbabwe, and he just returned here in South Africa today. So let's see what he has found out and whether there are really opportunities in Zimbabwe for investments. Thank you very much for watching, and good night to everybody.
Kuno aho bano mama wanna get it, mama wanna get it nice. I know food I me so, I know food I tebe, I know kaya Maria. kamba kwe.com .com usasaire kamba kwe anogaya mari
kamba kwe uyo anotara mari anogaya mari garai mamunzwa pane nyaya pano zvamunoda kunzwa zvinotaurwa